The collapse of real idols is actually promoting the comprehensiveness of virtual idols. In recent years, large and small artists have frequently collapsed their houses. For the brokerage company, the artist's private life is like a time bomb. On the other hand, the key advantage of virtual idols is that they can completely avoid disputes in the private life of virtual idols themselves. The more real idols collapse, the faster virtual idols become popular. According to market research firm Research and Markets, the global virtual event market is expected to reach $504.76 billion, about 3,270.744 billion yuan, by 2028. It is true that such a huge market size is a great temptation for both traditional brokers and innovative companies. A large number of virtual people poured into the idol track, beauty expert Lu Yexi, A&SAR beautiful and sweet who is hiding, imperfect but lovable next door girl Axie, IN's American internet celebrity Lil Miquela, air rapper FN Mecca and more. Many global brands have started using virtual idols in advertising campaigns, signing long-term agreements with virtual idols. Among them, brands such as Dior, Balenciaga, Prada, and others began to appear in the social accounts of virtual idols. In addition to purebred virtual people, some traditional model agencies have also begun to test the waters of virtual idol business, creating virtual avatars for their models. Not only that, in some other industries, it is not uncommon for digital people to act as spokespersons. For example, Tang Xiaofei, the province's first virtual tourism image spokesperson launched by Xianchujiang Culture and Tourism, is now online. Shenzhen Longwu District is also planning to create an exclusive metaverse idol for Longwu District. In addition, users' acceptance of virtual idols is also increasing. According to the survey data in the 2020 China Consumer Trend Report, nearly 70% of users know about virtual idols and pay attention to the development and latest trends of virtual idols. However, from the audience's point of view, the development of virtual idols is more like a capital exchange for a money-making tool with lower risk and a higher degree of operability. Brands flee from being cut. When the real idols collapsed one by one, I knew that a complete rebirth of virtual idols was coming, said Kugi, who paid close attention to virtual people. It is undeniable that top stars and new idols who are instantly popular can indeed bring exposure to endorsement brands to a certain extent and drive sales, but the hidden risks of real idols are difficult for brands to control. Behind every star that suddenly collapses, there are many brands who immediately distanced themselves from the relationship, terminated their endorsements, and removed their posters. Compared with the endorsement cost of real idols, virtual idols have lower trial and error costs and higher risk controllability. Virtual idols are pouring into the real world faster than many people think, holding concert tours, getting endorsements, selling live merchandise, appearing on the covers of fashion magazines, and more. Using virtual idols as product endorsements has become another choice for brands. According to the reporter's understanding, in the first half of this year, Chery Automobile and Take Time have successively announced that the virtual digital person Axie Angie will be their brand spokesperson, and the virtual idol girl group A Soul has become the key brand ambassador. In addition, Lu Yexi, who will explode in 2021, has cooperated with more than 200 brands including Xiaopeng Motors and Vivo so far, as well as Clarins, Anta, and Byte Games. According to Amen data, in the first half of this year alone, more than 20 brands have officially announced digital people as their brand spokespersons, which is much higher than in previous years. Nearly 80% of brand owners are trying or willing to try this new marketing method of digital people's endorsement. The most obvious thing is that Lahua Entertainment, whose real-life idols are constantly collapsing, has also begun to set foot in the field of virtual idols. In recent years, Lahua Entertainment has successively launched A Soul, Quantum Youth and EO, and plunged into the road of virtual idols. Even leading companies in the Korean entertainment industry have also entered into virtual idols. SM launched virtual idol groups aespa, JYP, and YG invests in virtual social companies up to. In fact, since the development of digital people, its application scenarios are not only as simple as a simple business endorsement. Not long ago, in the 2022 Virtual Digital Human, Metaverse Aboriginal, Commercialization Development Report published by the Communication University of China, it was mentioned that 4 major virtual digital figures have been formed in China: Douyin, Quizzu, Weibo, and Bilibili. People Commercialization Platform. On these platforms, virtual people have formed a monetization method such as live broadcast rewards, e-commerce delivery, short video advertisements, brand endorsements, and offline activity linkage. In addition, for some brands, virtual people are a symbol of brand rejuvenation, and an important medium for stepping into the virtual world. At the metaverse level, brands even hope that their products can appear in the virtual world and appear in the circle of young people in a new way. To sum up, it is not so much that virtual people are replacing real idols, it is better to say that under the blessing of brands, the ceiling of the commercial value of virtual people is constantly being raised. Difficulty forming emotional sustenance. In fact, from the point of view of nature and operational logic, virtual idols and real stars are both used as media to link consumers with content and emotional consumption. However, the difference is that virtual idols make their debut when they are born. All the training, character establishment, etc. required by real stars before their debut can be ignored directly on virtual idols. It can even be said that virtual idols have already won in terms of cost at the starting point. But this also directly leads to the growth trajectory of virtual idols, which runs counter to the original intention of some emotional consumption. The most obvious thing is that in the circle of singers and idols, where popularity and support are very important, if fans cannot see the hard work and growth of virtual idols, nor can they get actual interaction, they will naturally not have a sense of identity and loyalty. Without the support of a strong and loyal fan base, of course, the development of virtual idols is limited. For example, in the field of skills such as music, it is difficult for virtual idols to succeed at present. Although virtual idols have achieved some success in advertising and social media endorsements, they still have not made much progress in the music market because virtual characters cannot resonate because, unlike real singers, they do not have the innate talent, but relying on technological display, also lacks personal characteristics, and has never been able to move the public. On a deeper level, the reason why various cultures form group circles is because the core of the circles is a person with spiritual endogenous power and a maverick. It is more important to note that the self-independence of the group is not the suppression of itself, but the active sacrifice based on the identity. Some people believe that differentiation from real idols is indeed the key, but the establishment of a moat does not necessarily rely on human differences to develop. From the perspective of virtual idols have no independence at all, and virtual idols who lose their humanity are actually hard to look at. And virtual idols with personal characteristics such as advantages and scheming will obviously be more three-dimensional and more easily accepted by idol lovers. Most importantly, according to 2Media Research, 2Media Consulting, data, 23.2% of Chinese virtual idol enthusiasts are willing to spend money to support virtual idols in 2021, but the monthly cost is less than 200 yuan, which is even a fraction of real idols. It's hard to say there's no connection to fan loyalty. It is true that the current problem that virtual idols need to face is undoubtedly humanization. In addition, the biggest obstacle to the development of the industry at present is the high technical and operating costs of virtual digital people in the technical field. The cultivation of a virtual idol requires huge capital investment. According to industry sources, at this stage, the production of a single virtual idol song in China, including arrangement, modeling, image design, and stage plan customization, costs as much as 2 million yuan. If you create a concert like the virtual idol Luo Tanyi, the investment from sound production to the concert will be at least tens of millions of yuan. Year-end assessment is actually the metaverse. At present, it is still the initial stage of virtual human development in the music market, brand endorsement and other fields, and it is also the exploratory stage of each brand's initial test of the original universe. The market also agrees that if virtual people want to enter the main battlefield of virtual consumption, what they need is the arrival of a mature metaverse entrance. To put it simply, when many brands launch virtual goods, it is the highlight of the rise of virtual people. On the contrary, to put it bluntly, for virtual human producers or brands, Zhongshiren and virtual human IP are not the focus. The focus is technology. These virtual human production technologies are the cornerstone of the development of virtual entertainment, and the metaverse. When the virtual human is combined with the metaverse, it can be called the final form of the virtual idol. The most obvious one is that the metaverse will never be absent in the marketing keywords of virtual humans, but the metaverse is a huge ecology, and virtual humans are only the front tentacles of this ecology. The future of the metaverse is the future of social and content marketing, which relies on the upgrade of social media, and changes in user consumption habits. In recent years, companies that are aware of these problems have also begun to develop lower cost and more popular virtual idols. According to public information, the MetaHuman creator software reduces the generation time of virtual humans to less than 1 hour. The Microsoft Avatar Framework's OS framework creates a general framework for virtual human incubation, and the Baidu Smart Cloud Shielding platform is helping people achieve digital human freedom. 3D digital humans that used to take 2 or 3 months to create can now be compressed into hours. However, it should be noted that with a large number of virtual people incubating, the rarity of virtual idols will be diluted. At the same time, due to the limited coverage of virtual idols, competition in popular areas such as brand endorsement, dance, and music will continue to increase. Not only that, users still have doubts about some of the products endorsed by current virtual idols, and even the brand side has not put more expectations on the endorsement of virtual idols. On Zhao Ling_Ling posted a post about lipstick moisturizing and not drying out, which was questioned by many netizens. How does a virtual person know if this lipstick is dry or not? In terms of brand cooperation, whether it is Down Jackets, Keep, or Pecoin, the meaning of everyone's trial and error is more obvious. In the cooperation with virtual idols, the brand side has almost never set assessment standards for virtual idols. Before the arrival of the metaverse, gimmicks, trial and error, industry competition, etc. were all inevitable for virtual idols. If you want to become the head, in fact, the easiest and most direct way is still heavy marketing.